Thank you so much for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Julie Luck.
And I'm Chad Silber. Many areas are seeing those lingering impacts. In our live team coverage tonight, Hannah Hill is tracking conditions in Saxopal. Manning Franks is in Burlington, and Amber Lake is in Mebane. But let's start with Ben Briscoe, who is surveying the damage in Haw River tonight.
Things are getting better. The water is starting to recede out here. In fact, where I'm standing right now was underwater last night, and you can still see how high it came up. Take a look at this bush. You see all the mud here? It goes up to about here, and then it's green bush again. The water rose and rose and rose last night. Down the road, it actually went above here to like this point of my body. Neighbors say they haven't seen flooding like this in decades.
It never really gets across the road. I've owned that house since 1990, and the last time I saw it like this was in Fran, 1996.
Other roads across Haw River are still closed, like this bridge where the water had so much force it ripped the asphalt off of the street. I've also seen all kinds of flood debris washing down the river today, including parts of homes, even a TV floating by at one point. But neighbors here tell me they feel pretty lucky considering what the folks in western North Carolina went through with Helene, and the folks in Texas also with the recent flooding there.
When you see the other damage and the stuff that, those folks went through, this is nothing. It's all material. As long as everybody's safe and there's no loss of life, then this is just material things. All this can be replaced.
The other thing I noticed is that the neighbors here really care about each other. Everyone on this street when I got here was checking on each other, trying to get down past the floodwaters, because when I got here, where that shadow is right there, you couldn't get past. It was still completely flooded, and people were walking back up and through people's backyards to check on everyone. It is clearly a community that cares and is here for each other.
Ben, thank you. Saxopal is also dealing with the damage today. WFMY News 2's Hannah Hill has seen some of the worst.
That's right, Chad. So this building behind me used to be the community center, but now it's used for a whole lot different things. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we've been using this place as a studio for the past 15 years or so. We're called Paper Hand Puppet Intervention, and we do a lot of giant puppets and masks and storytelling.
And obviously those puppets, they take a lot of hard work, attention to detail. And how has the floodwaters impacted them?
It's been pretty tough. We had to get rid of a lot of things today. A lot of things that got damaged because we make our things out of paper and cloth, and some things got pretty ruined, but other things we were able to keep. And we have a new space, thankfully, that was already waiting for us in the wings. So.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that all that hard work and all that happened. But as you can see, we do have some of those puppets out here, and they're pretty large. And this was just one of many places, many things in Saxopal that was impacted by those floodwaters. Haw River rose fast and high, flooding the Buddy Collins Memorial bridges and cutting off part of Saxopal. By sunrise, the water was already receding, but the damage had been done.
It just breaks my heart. It really does. I've already had someone reach out to me this morning who got married here maybe 10 years ago with, "We can help. Just let us know. We'll be happy to step in and help."
Floodwaters surrounded Saxopal United Methodist Church, turning its steps into a shoreline and its grounds into a mud pit. The community's sense of shock is quickly turning into action, and concern for those still stuck without a way to get out.
Well, for one, I do in-home health care. My client depends on me to be there, and I can't even get there because I can't get across the bridge to get there. And I've been worried about them this morning.
With bridges closed and power out in parts of town, everyday routines came to a stop. For some residents, that meant no work, no groceries, and a simple breakfast.
No eggs, no bacon, none of that stuff. Kind of had to go back to the old time way. Kids were complaining about it's hot, no air conditioning.
Others are facing major detours just to cross town.
I come across this bridge multiple times a day, so I'm gonna have to go to Graham to get to this side of the river.
And we are joined by Duke Energy's Jeff Brooks. Jeff, you're not at every scene, you're not at every outage. So what is so particularly difficult about this one?
Well, I think this one represents some of the challenges we've seen today from Chantal, and that's the flooding, that's the movement of water and trees and down material that brought down our lines here. We have 2 lines down in the water in the river. It's a significant outage that's affecting thousands of customers here in Alamance County. So for us, they're all priorities, but this one is one definitely that has all hands on deck.
And you had mentioned that the lines are actually in the water and you're trying to activate it so that people can have a temporary fix, correct?
That's right. A tree broke the pole that had that line on it, and it's wrapped up around the pole. So we're trying to clear the tree from it, get the line back up out of the water. If it's intact and in good shape, we're going to try to re-energize the line. But if it's got a problem, then it could be a more complex repair. We just don't know till we get the line out of the water.
So we're a lot of wait and see right now, right?
Absolutely, but we're going to do our best to get it back up as quickly and safely as we can.
Yes, thank you guys so much. So there's your update from Duke Energy. As far as when the bridge will be reopened, we don't know yet either. It depends on them and also the DOT. For now, live in Saxopal, I'm Hannah Hill, WFMY News 2.
A very active scene there, Hannah. Thank you so much. Turning now to another part of Alamance County where flooding killed 1 person in Mebane.
WFMY News 2's Amber Lake is live in Mebane, where she's heard from people surveying the damage and starting that cleanup process.
Right, guys, and unfortunately there was a storm-related death here in Mebane from the storm. And when you see the aftermath behind me, it's really not surprising. It is heartbreaking, though. We are at a salvage yard here in Mebane, and you can see they have dealt with these flooding issues for at least the past 12 to 16 hours now. We have cars that are in this creek and they're going to be stuck there for a very long time. Even the owner said it's going to take them a long time to really clean up this area. So many cars ruined, and you can tell that we were told that the water came over that bridge into this area and just kind of flooded this entire area. Now check out this video that a homeowner off of 3rd Street sent me earlier today. You can see the water making its way into Dave Riley's basement. He told me not only did the water rise quick, it took his neighbor's shed and his 2 basketball goals with it. This is footage of one of his goals found in his neighbor's backyard across the street. As far as his basement is concerned, he says that he estimates nearly $20,000 in damage.
Came through like a river. It comes down from our neighbor's house up this way and just floods all the way through into the culvert. So we did what we could in a short amount of time, but unfortunately it had gotten into the basement at that time. So.
Now these floodwaters aren't something to mess around with. Look at this video of a road completely washed out off of Nix Road. On the other end of the city, a huge tree was down as well.
This is really unbelievable. I haven't really seen anything like this in Alamance County ever.
And around lunchtime today, we heard from the county and they said that they had responded to 61 calls for service since 6:45 last night. So I can imagine that that number has grown even today, even more so because so many people have these flooded issues. And of course, like all the other weather events that we've covered, it's going to take a while to bounce back. Reporting in Mebane, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.